this is Sophie Lawson from sophielawson.com, and this is episode... done it again. This is a quick... no, it's not a video. It is a video, but it's about the Cats of June, which is a little art challenge I'm doing in January. 30-day art challenge called the Cats of June. And this is a little post about days 9 to 16, which was all about sketching other artists' work. So I did a little blog post where I show the drawings, but I also talk about how I realised that I don't sketch enough, why I stopped sketching daily, which is all about habits and stuff, and I talk about crappy sketchbooks and crappy sketches, and I think that was it. It's actually quite an interesting week, or 8 days, because what I do is I realise that I don't sketch enough, and the main reason for it is because I've started using different sketchbooks. So in the old days, back in the old days, that's a secret sketch. That's my character Little Sophie with eyes. I'm playing that. See, this to me is a proper sketchbook. It's full of it's just full of like a lot of like rubbish, but it's good rubbish. See, I'm experimenting with eyes with Little Sophie. So this sketchbook here is just full of what I call crappy sketches and little thumbnail things and just doodles, practicing things. The reason I do that is because it's a crappy sketchbook. It's like crappy paper. I can just rip the pages out if I don't like stuff. So having a crappy sketchbook, kind of what I realised is it frees me up. And at the start of the year I purchased these moleskin sketchbooks, which they're still quite cheap sketchbooks. They're nothing special. They're still about the same price as that one, but it just feels a bit more high quality. And I've realised that my sketchbooks have turned from being what I would call sketchbooks, which is practicing and playing and messing about, to being books full of like finished drawings, which that's not what I want a sketchbook to be. So I've realised this week that I'm going to go back to buying crappy sketchbooks, and I'm actually going to buy like the crappiest sketchbooks that I can find. Because I just think now, crappy sketchbooks, crappy sketches, but when you're doing crappy sketches, that's when you can play. That's when you can like really just mess about, and that's when I think that's when you find the best stuff. So that's the main thing I've learnt this past 8 days with Cats of June. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the little cats here. So what I did was, in my character design quarterly magazines and character sketchbooks that I've been doing quick look videos of on this YouTube channel, what I started doing was I've started sketching the characters, and I thought I might as well sort of use this art challenge as a way of practicing that. So what I did was I went through the magazines and the books, and every time I found a cat character, I marked it, and I just basically started sketching them. So this one is from Character Design Quarterly issue 1, and it's a cat character by the Blue Zoo Studio. But I love this little dude. I think he's so fun, and it was quite interesting drawing him in these different angles. Again, this is something I've got to do with my character Little Sophie. I'm always drawing her in one angle, but I need to start thinking about her as a 3D character. And again, that's why I need to be doing crappy sketches. And I think when you're doing crappy sketches, you can just experiment, and you know you're going to do crap. So you just go for it, and I think that's when you're going to learn the most. But I love this little dude. He's such a fun character. He's sort of simple, I guess. I think this is my favourite cat sketch from the week. It's from issue 1 again, and it's by the artist James A. Castello. And if you go onto the blog post, which I'll link to in the show notes, actually I don't think it's on there. If you go to the Instagram, sophie.lawson, you can find all of these artists, because I added them in the post. But I really like that. The actual sketch of that, or the drawing, is really nice. The proper one, the one that the artist did. I love this little fatty. David Isles from Character Design Quarterly issue 3. He's got like a sort of manga, adult manga vibe to him. To me, feels a bit like, he looks like he's a lazy bones, but I reckon he's like a badass. He's one of those sort of, you think he's lazy, but really he's sort of like a super cat. This is a funny one. This is from Seth Labirus, Character Design Quarterly 7. Look at that. How funny is that? Actually, I should put his paper in here. Look at that, look. He's roaring. That cat's roaring. He's getting blown back. I just think that's funny. Really funny. And what I loved about sketching other artists' work, and this is why I love doing it, is because you notice things that you don't notice when you're just looking at it. So like these lines, like really sort of adds expression. You notice things like that. So when you do a sketch in the future, you'll sort of start copying things like this, and you don't sometimes see stuff like that when you're just looking. It's only when you start sketching that you see things. But I really like that. I just think that is funny, the way he's getting blown about. His face is so funny, but in the actual like sketch in the magazine, he's got a much more funnier face. But it's quite hard to sketch sometimes. This is amazing. This was from issue. Oh, this is from the sketchbook, Sketching Characters, Sketching from the Imagination Characters, which is another book I did a quick look video of, and this is by the artist Richard Anderson. How much of a badass is he? I want to create a character like that. What I loved about this, again, something that I didn't notice just looking at it, the way he does his shading, which I think is amazing. I've never seen anyone do this. He'll do the sketch, but he'll like shade in squares. So he doesn't actually shade the cat in. He like shades a square overlapping the cat, and it's like really unique. But I loved it. But I just think this cat is so much attitude. Proper, funny, really funny. He was so good that I did another one, and what I did was I focused on the little cat, and because that cat is a sidekick to this girl character, which I think a fantastic combination. But I sort of did her light so that he popped out a bit more. But he's just fun. He's maybe the funnest character that I drew, and she's pretty cool as well. Like these really good characters they were. This is from the same book, Sketching from the Imagination Characters. This is the artist Andy Estrada, and this one was on the front cover, or I think it was on the inside of the front cover, on the contents page. Really liked this one as well. Again, it's just interesting to look at how they do their strokes and stuff, because this was really sketchy, which I liked. And they did loads of different cat characters, and it had a really nice style to it. He's really fun actually. Again, I didn't quite get the face right. It's not quite 3D or something. There's something wrong with that one. This one is from the latest book that I looked at, which is the Sketchbook of Loish, and I loved this illustration when I was flicking through the book. I knew I was going to sketch it when I saw it, and again sort of sketched a character, but I focused on the cat. But I wanted to get a little sad face in because I think that's quite important. But look how happy that little cat is. Such a nice cat. I love cats. To me, that image shows how cats will heal your wounds. Cats are the best. I really do think that. I enjoyed doing that one. And then the last one was this one. Again, sketches from Loish. And these were just random cat sketches. I love it when artists half sketch and leave the other bit like a gestury. I want to start practicing that. It looks fun. I like it when realistic artists also, they do that. They do like a portrait with a realistic face, and then the bottom comes into like a sketch. That looks good as well. I like the gesture on that one. Really feels like he's pushing forward. Nice little cats. And that was it. I also did that one, which I can't remember where that one was. That was in one of the books somewhere. Oh, that was Loish's book as well. That's the cat sitting on the bed, looking at the character. So I sketched that one because I just liked the shape of it. That's basically it. The next cats are going to be watercolour cats. I think I've done 4 of them so far. And this is fun, but I need to do some more. But I'm really enjoying that, watercolours. So that was the little sketches. I think that's my favourite one. Or maybe that one. Definitely fun, and I really enjoyed sketching other artists' work, and it's something I'm gonna get really force myself into, because I say force because what's happened is I used to do a daily sketching habit. I used to sketch every single day in these sketchbooks, and like I said, once I started getting these sketchbooks, I sort of stopped the habit, and once you stop a habit, it's really hard to get it started again. So what I'm going to do is, after this challenge is finished, I'm going to get a daily sketching habit back on, and what I'm going to do is go through all these little art books that I've got and basically sketch everything. I'm going to sketch everything. Sketching is where the magic happens. That's what I think. So that's basically it for this little video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time for another one.